joining us today, I am proud to introduce Marcus Sedgwick, author of the best-selling novel Midwinterblood. Marcus, hello. It is a pleasure to have you here today.
Why, thank you very much. It's lovely to have been invited, really.
Midwinterblood is not your first novel. You've also written many others. Just how many books have you written in total?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to have been quite successful as an author, and last time I checked, I think it was around about 25. Some probably better than others, if I'm honest.
But you're not just a novelist now, are you, Marcus?
No, certainly not. I mean, it can be very hard to get started as a writer, and it takes a number of years and a lot of perseverance to make any serious money out of it. So really, just in order to keep yourself going, I think as a writer, you either need to have inherited a lot of money or you need another job. And for me, certainly, I really had to work at it. And so, you know, I've done a number of other things. I've worked on graphic novels, although they're really just novels as well, but with pictures. And I'm doing a bit of work in the film industry. I've also lectured in creative writing, which was fun, and I was once Sparta University's writer-in-residence, and still not entirely sure what that title means, but they gave me money for it, so there we go.
No, that's impressive. But anyway, you're here today to talk about your book Midwinterblood.
Well, I hope so, because I've not prepared anything else.
So will you tell us a little about it?
Certainly. Midwinterblood tells the story of these two characters, Eric and Merle, throughout their 7 lives. And, you know, throughout each life, they're provided with new and difficult challenges which their love has to overcome throughout different historical settings as their souls search to be reunited.
That's an interesting idea. And what inspired you to write the story?
Well, I was on holiday in Sweden one day, and I wandered into the National Museum in Stockholm, and I saw this incredible painting called Midwinterblood by an artist called Carl Larsson. It really was just so powerful and so amazing. It really spoke to me, and I really would, if you're ever in Sweden, I really would advise you to head to Stockholm and pop into the National Museum and really see this picture, because it's just such a powerful, incredible picture. And I just looked at the characters in the painting and I thought, I wonder what their stories are. And I decided to put forward my own version of their stories.
So you mentioned before that these characters have 7 lives. Now, can you tell us why this is?
Well, I wanted to explore the idea of everlasting love, because you know, throughout each of their 7 lives, the characters, their souls at least, search for each other and try to find each other again. And yeah, I was able to just illustrate that in more depth and explore different styles of story by doing it that way.
And would you say there are any key themes in the book?
Well, I suppose for me, the obvious 2 would be love and sacrifice. You know, these are both repeated throughout the 7 lives of the characters in different forms, and certainly develop as the story unfolds. And there are also themes surrounding hope and memories and family at various points, but I don't want to give too much away.
No, I've read your book, and great work, by the way. And I noticed that you use different historical settings for each of the different lives. Now, can you tell me just how you selected these time settings?
Well, I mean, all it was really, I just chose those periods because I found them really interesting and they really appealed to me, and I thought that they lent themselves well to the book. You know, but in order to reach that point, I did a lot of research on a lot of periods of history, really, and I really enjoyed doing that, and I learned lots of new things. And another great thing about this book was it really gave me the opportunity to explore different ways of writing, from, you know, historical to sort of to futuristic, and I really enjoyed doing that. And I was able to throw a little fantasy in for good measure. I even put a vampire in there, and I must say, I have to, you know, if I do say so myself, you know, it's much better than a book cover.
So why do you think people should read your book?
Because I make a lot of money if you do. No, but seriously, I think its themes are ones that are very popular at present with younger readers. You know, I know the Gothic genre is very popular at the moment. I mean, it's a love story at heart, and certainly I hope it appeals to fans of romances, but there's a lot of other sides to this book, if you like. And I think that even if you're not a fan of romance, there's a lot of, you know, material of a darker nature in there that I think will attract a wider range of readers. And I think, as I said, even if you're not a fan of romance, I think there's something in there for you. There's fantasy, there's mystery. I just think there's something for everyone, I'd like to think, anyway.
Well, I couldn't put it down. It had me hooked from page 1.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I do hope that others feel the same way.
See, when you've written so many books, just how do you stay motivated?
Well, like like most writers, I just have a really strong passion for words, and I feel that as long as there's someone out there willing to listen, there's a story to be told.
And have you got any tips for aspiring writers?
I think stay focused, never give up. You know, it is a tough business. It really does, even for anyone, even for the real top writers like myself. It really takes a long time to get started, and you might be turned down, you know, by tens of publishers before anyone takes you seriously. And you really have to just put that behind you and really believe that, despite what they're saying, you are good enough, because chances are you are. And as long as you believe that, there's nowhere the pen can't take you. I'd say just go mad, just write. Really.
Inspirational words. Well, thank you very much for your time, Marcus, and the very best of luck with Midwinterblood. I can't wait to read your next book.
Well, I better get started then. No, but it was my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Cut. Why did I